Hello, welcome to the Daily Live. We are just looking at the brightness. That is just like... The other week it was pitch black, and now it's just like the sun has moved closer to us. Good afternoon, it's Monday the 14th of August. The weekend after... Yeah. I still got a hangover. Not from drink, from Saturday. But Everton have signed a player. Let's start positively. Yeah. Jack Harrison is in. We've been talking about him for a while, haven't we?
Yeah.
He's coming in. He's in now, which is good. He's injured, but people will turn around and say it's a long season.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's
not
two
for
games, won't it?
So yeah, it's looking like 2 to 3 weeks. So next couple of games, he'll be missing whatever. But I think he's a good signing. We discussed him before. We talked about what he brings. I think he's if ever there was a Sean Dykes type of wide man, this is it. As in hard working, gets goals, can play off either side, and has got a good attitude. I had a few messages from some Leeds fans who were like, you've got a lad who turns up every week. He's not always amazing, but he turns up every week. And, you know, when you look at non-top, he doesn't turn up at the moment. No, he turns up every week, weighs in with goals and all that. I think this is a sensible signing for Everton, and I think it's a good signing. Personally.
Yeah, it's sensible, very sensible. Damari Gray will now go, and his numbers are good, works hard, fit in with what the manager wants. We saw on Saturday, obviously, James Garner playing in that position, and he doesn't really get forward. I actually thought James Garner had a really good game, apart from the goal where
I watched totally a different game.
I thought he was really good on the ball. I just thought he made a mess of the goal. He was far too high, far forward for the goal. But I thought on the ball he did really well on Saturday. It's just not his position. And he was often in the same positions as where Patterson fills as well, because that's not his position. I don't put that on him. I put that on the football club for not having adequate replacements in time for the season, like you're supposed to. So yeah, he'll come in. He could play a little bit higher, but also he'll do the defensive work as well. Reliable player, and someone obviously that is there every single week, whether it's fighting for a share, ready to come off the bench. His goal numbers have been better than Gray's. He's a good player. So it's good. It's a good signing. Good to get him on.
The last three Premier League seasons for Leeds, 8 goals, 5 goals. So, you know, that'd be really good in our team, because we just, you know, we don't have people who post regular numbers like that, and he can do better than that as well, I feel. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Be great if he was fit, of course, and ready to go, but he isn't. But he's there now, and like I said, we look for Everton have got the option and want the option to keep him as well. So that's a better thing than just always just there to help us out, because you can look a longer term. If he does do well, and he can get into that team and be integral for a few years, then that's good as well. If he doesn't, obviously that's a different conversation, isn't it? But he's played enough times now in the Premier League. The experience is there. Someone we've known for a while, haven't we, since he was at New York City and things like that. So yeah, I think it's a good signing. The emphasis now goes on a centre forward.
Yeah, it's got to, hasn't it?
That's
Ned, just turn the lights down. There's no point turning them round.
That's
no, come round here.
So let's not have a discussion on
Ned,
camera.
Come on, turn these lights down. People are complaining about them. They're too bright. Said this off camera. That's fine. No.
Let's go back. Right, hang on. John can argue with Ned there. We have to get a centre forward. Yeah. Saturday proved it. Saturday was the biggest indicator ever of where the next transfer has to be. Everton apparently are speaking to a couple. So let's hope he can get one of them in by Villa. Yeah. To at least make it a bit of a difference. And I still feel like, I still imagine 4 or 5 go out of this squad before the window shuts anyway. I mean, we've seen Mason Holgate today.
Yeah, well, don't really count them.
No, but it's the numbers that are in there, aren't they? No. But I still think Maupay will go. I don't think Maupay will be here when the window shuts. And why would he be if Everton got another striker? There's no place for him, is there? We wouldn't carry 4 centre forwards, absolutely not. So I think he'll go. Gray, Holgate, Gomez was on the bench. I think he'll go as well. And then we'll see what happens with the others. But you know, if Everton can get another striker, then they're still very interested in Nonso. Get Nonso in the door as well. Then you know, you might get to the end of the window and think, actually, it's not a bad window. That it has readdressed a bit of the balance, but a centre forward right now is key, obviously.
But we still give a game up.
No, we have.
We still give a game up by not being prepared. Simple as that. You know, still give a game up. That was an easily winnable game on Saturday against the team that we should be looking to beat every single year. And that's what's disappointing. That's what disappoints a lot of people. Just throwing away another game like last season.
I was properly. It's hurt me, this one, more than a game's hurt me for a long time. Because they were poor. They were terrible.
And 2 shots they had.
He just absolutely threw it away, and it's so annoying, so frustrating. Yeah. Everton are playing in a bounce game tomorrow. Well, some of the players are playing in a bounce game tomorrow. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Saturday, I mean, what did you make of that Saturday?
He said it. I mean, he said it on Friday. I said it last week. I knew he wasn't playing. I didn't really see it as a surprise. I've seen this thing of people saying, "Well, why can he play in a game, but he can't play in this game?" Because the intensity of the Premier League is huge compared to. You can control these games. A behind closed doors game, you can control it. It's not going to be 100 miles an hour. You can talk to the other team. They'll want stuff from it as well. You can control what you're going to need from it. He can control himself, and it's, as the manager said lots of times, it's part of his program. I have no problem with that whatsoever. What I have a problem with is when a player gets injured because he's being mismanaged. I don't think he's being mismanaged. I think he's being managed in the right way for his body, and to have him back for the first game, and that could mean him missing other games, is, to me, is, you know, it's not worth it. What Everton should have is another striker behind them to play in the game. That's what they should have. They shouldn't be relying on Mopai, who's simply not good enough. But I have no issue not playing on Saturday at all.
Fair enough. But he'll play tomorrow. I think Yusuf Chimiti is going to get some minutes tomorrow as well. Dan Juma, obviously, who'll be sure late on Saturday. Jared Brandthwaite is another one. He can't get in the team quick enough for me either. So we need another game as well. And we'll have to go from there, won't we? We've got a hugely tough game on Sunday. They're absolutely all over the place at the back, Aston Villa. But if you haven't got players, you can put the ball in the net. It doesn't matter. The other end are very dangerous. We saw Moussa Diaby with a goal on his debut. So it's going to be a massively tough afternoon for Everton on Sunday. And then Wolves at home is a game that should be representing 3 points. But Everton will have had to do some business by then. They need the centre forward in. And if they can get him in this week, it'll make a big difference, like you say. Because it'll give you a focal point to which to go for. And, you know, we can't, I think for Neil Mopai, someone's put a hex on him or something, because that goal looks about 2 inches big to him. Every time he gets the ball, it just looks like it's never going to happen for him. And that can happen to players at clubs. And I think we need it from our perspective as well, of having the belief. I think people need to believe that the striker they've got up front will score your goals, whether it's your teammates or the fans.
But it puts pressure on everyone, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Puts pressure on absolutely everyone.
I know we'll get into it with the final word, but I wasn't impressed with any of our players on Saturday. Thought they were all, maybe Ghana, Idrissa. The rest, I just thought, went through didn't go through the motions, but no one just stood out at all. And Fulham were even worse. It's just like a flat opening day of the season after the first half.
Yeah, I thought we did all right in terms of what we've got. I don't think we're a very particularly good side, so it doesn't surprise me. And I thought there was some okay performances. I thought Iwobi did all right. I thought Garner, Garner grew as the game went on. I thought he was a bit sloppy in the first half. I thought we were all right. We made plenty of chances, and we should have. If we'd put one in the back of the net.
No, we should have won 6-1.
Yeah.
6-1 wouldn't have flattered Fulham. That's all. You know, they'd have been made up to get out with 6-1. We destroyed them, but I just mean individual performance. Like no one's like Onana just.
No, Onana was
bits in the first half, brilliant. And I'm thinking, like, go on then, do it now. Funny. Then the next one, I just didn't see him.
Yeah.
Like, where are you? In the midfield, they didn't have a midfield. You're like, why aren't you grabbing this game by the scruff of the neck?
Too quiet.
Iwobi, like, 2 good things and then can't control balls that are coming to him. He's got hours to control it. Bounces off his shin and goes out, and the frustration grows. Then Patterson gets himself into so many good positions. You know, no end product.
He was poor defensively though, so.
Did they do anything? I don't think they had anything. I don't think they went past them in the game, either.
William destroyed them in the first 5 minutes, and that was it. That was the end.
Well, that's not. You can't want because you go past. No,
Nobody
I'll tell you,
did
he was awful, Anthony Robinson.
Nobody did though. He destroyed them in the first 5 minutes, and Patterson just never recovered from it. Just never recovered. Just you could see the cogs ticking in his head, going over. He just couldn't get himself right after that, as much as he tried. Sadly, we were just. I just don't see it as a shock, because I just don't think we're a very good side. But you put us into certain ways of playing, and we can be all right. And we have made chances on Saturday. So again, though, it's the same problem. People can say, well, if we don't put the chances, we don't put chances away. That's our problem.
It was similar to the game in April. With that game, we missed 4 sitters in the first half, and they beat us in the second half, and it was just the same kind of game.
It's not always a case of making chances. I think we make enough chances. We just can't put the ball back in there. We don't have composure. The Corey should have had us 1-0 up. It was a city. It's an absolute city.
You have to square it. It's through the keeper. Go full sweaty. Go full FIFA.
Have a bit of composure and just put it past the keeper on his right hand side, on his left hand side.
Well, he tried his foot, didn't he?
He was too close by that point, because he took 2 extra touches he didn't need to take.
They just rolled it square to Garner.
It was
absolutely tapping.
Poor.
I know, but he should. It did it his heel. But if he just rolls it square, James Garner's got a whole goal. 1-0. Just do the right thing.
We don't though. That's the point. We have players who don't have composure in front of goals.
Doing the right thing.
It's the same old problem.
And the other way, that John says it, and which I forgot. Doing things right, the right way. And that was brilliant. He done brilliantly there, the Corey, as well. That was it. He really did do well, but it's just annoying, isn't it? And frustrating. But it is what it is, isn't it? It's a long season. It's just the annoying thing was that was a game that was there for us. That's what the annoying thing is, and the way it played out was there for us as well. It wasn't like, you know, we could have won it because of that. We should have should have been over at half time. It's frustrating, isn't it? That frustration, but let's see what happens. Let's hope we can get in the players we need, and we can readdress the balance of the squad a little bit, which is lighting then the final third, isn't it? You know, you look at it. Other areas are probably all right in. Maybe a centre back. I just don't know who they'd get at centre back who would come straight into the team anyway. Who's not playing somewhere. You got like a incredible player from Man City or something.
Yeah,
of course. Who wanted games. I just don't see who we can go on without having to buy one. And are we going to not waste money, but are you going to spend money that maybe you haven't got where you've already got players in that area? I mean, we saw Reece Welsh go off to Forest Green, didn't we? So we have got 4 centre-backs, but obviously I imagine they look at Coleman and they look at Michalenko as emergency ones as well and go, well, we can plug them gaps without having to spend money.
They shouldn't, though.
No, I know. But you see, I personally, I'd just put Brandwaite in and go with it and just go, right, let's see.
Keane did all right on Saturday. He did all right. He's
not.
No, but he did all right, and that's what the manager wants, doesn't he? You know, he did all right. He didn't make any major risks. A lot of stuff was, you know, you look at the stats, a lot of the passing and stuff like that comes through Michael Keane.
It's
mad. It's absolutely mad.
He's good on the... people like discredit the way he is on. One of the best things about Michael Keane is his passing. He's comfortable on the ball, enough to pick apart. I mean, he bent one to Iwobi in the second half. It was unbelievable, but De Bruyne-esque. It's just some of the other stuff he does where you're just like, and I'm not talking about Saturday, because he does have those games, Michael Keane. He'll have a few of them where he's fine. He's fine, but that it's my issue with it. It isn't that Michael Keane's back in. It's the fact that the manager took him out because he didn't deem him in his best 11, and because a couple of people have left the club, he's all of a sudden back in again. And I don't want that not just for Michael Keane. I don't want that for anybody. I want you to earn your place in that starting 11. That's what I want.
Manager likes him, doesn't he? Manager trusts him. That's the one thing. He trusts him.
Fair enough. Did you think, were you a little bit, I mean, I don't know, this is probably for the final word, but just we'll go back onto transfers or something in a minute, but were you a little bit surprised? I know you're going to say no, but were you a little bit surprised he didn't just lash cannon on for 10 minutes? No.
Surprised with that one on, to be honest.
I think they were crying out for someone in wide, weren't they? I'd have been more comfortable with him just putting Michael Keane up front, to be honest, but with 10 minutes to go, I thought, just lash cannon on and put Danjuma wide. Give us that little bit of we're losing 1-0, we may as well go for it. And you've got a centre forward on the bench. He is going to move, of course, he's going to press them, but he might have just got on the end of something and sniffed something out, mightn't he? And that was just one of the things. I just thought, just throw caution to the wind. It's day one. It's not like, but listen, he knows better than me, sees him every day in training, but I would have just lashed him on with 10 minutes ago and just seen if something could have dropped to him in the box. Because we still had chances at the end, didn't we? Tahi had that header he should have scored with. Why Decore trying to loop a header goal with from 15 yards when there's like 3 people next to him to knock it down to. With the last kick of the game, I don't know, but and that referee, by the way, Jesus. Maybe one thing we should do is not boo. You know, when the referee's name's announced, don't boo him. Because that seems to just be like the straw that broke Stuart Atwell's back. Because every time there was like a 50-50 challenge, he give them the free kick, didn't he?
Yeah. Poor.
Clown.
Very poor.
All good. All good. One thing we did we heard from 2 people via programme notes on Saturday. Yeah. We had an update from Kevin Thelwell, and we had a Colin Chong again, which it gave me. See, I was talking to a few people at the game, and we were all kind of in agreement that the club is where it is because it can't make decisions.
Yeah.
And Colin Chong reiterated that in his notes.
He did.
The stadium is still on course to be completed, and we've got to decide whether to move mid-season or the end of the season. If that kind of indecision is coming from the very top of your football club, what hope have you got? A club that is losing money, doesn't make money, is going to leave a stadium that can make it extra money free for 8 months or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And people can go, oh, well, there's this thing that if you move at the start of the season, it means everything's well better. Why?
Nonsense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Absolute nonsense.
But there you go. So yeah, there you go. We've cleared it all up there, haven't we? Jack Harrison, Mason Holgate. What else have we done? We've done Fulham, Stuart Atwell, Daniel Sturridge singing. Should we do some? No. Let's leave that. Leave that. Stay away from it. Roy Keane's face.
Stay away from that. That's also nonsense.
What's that all about?
Brilliant bit of punditry.
Yeah, madness. So what are you thinking for Villa then Sunday? Are
we on to Villa already?
Well, we're going to do Fulham in greater detail, aren't we? But I'm just mean, like, we're going to Villa Sunday. Obviously, they just lost 5-1. That probably won't mean anything. Well, it won't mean anything. It'll just mean they're fired up for Sunday. But from an Everton perspective, we got to go there and just, I guess, try to bore the game down, haven't we? And make sure we've got enough men behind the ball. And
yeah, but we were better last season away from home, weren't we? We created more chances, and we certainly took more chances. So it's just that they've put pressure on themselves, haven't they? You know, if they do exactly what they did last season and go back to back defeats, you're putting pressure on yourselves straight away.
Yeah.
The difference is you've probably got a little bit of a more calmer manager. But hopefully Dan Juma's fit and maybe Dom's fit to be on the bench or even start, depending on how they assess the programme and stuff. And Villa will be hurting. That's a terrible defeat, isn't it? Getting beat 5-1 and your first game of the season when there's so much expected of you. So
because they'll have seen themselves as potential rivals to Newcastle, wouldn't they?
Go in there and don't
give anything away early.
Don't give anything cheap.
Yeah.
You know, the goal on, I mean, as well as, you know, we talk about Saturday, the goal we give away was cheap. It's just a cheap goal, all getting dragged over to our left hand side, and then
like 3 passes it was in Arne.
Then Garner, you know, being far too up the pitch. It was like they were caught out by the sub.
They were all up though. They were all up the pitch.
No, I'm saying they were all caught out by it. You know, Tarkowski's far too. He's too close to the touchline.
Keane's nowhere near Mitrovic.
Keane gets dragged over. He doesn't commit, and then Patterson's left chasing the man, that's his job, and then James Garner's nowhere near the goal scorer. So so they have to be better. You can't give moments like that away in Premier League games.
Maybe we'll go and Fulham it. Maybe we'll go there, get battered, and we'll score a spawny goal and win 1-0.
Maybe. So you can
it's about time. We've done something like that. I can't remember the last time Everton.
What did you think of the atmosphere like in general on Saturday? Because I thought it was very, very flat. Like the whole thing was flat, wasn't it? To me, and I'm not being doomsday merchant here, but it was just again, it was just like the last season hadn't finished, and it just felt like you were rolling into them. In fact, I felt like the last 2 seasons I've rolled into this season, and I just can. And there's no like hope or optimism of anything.
You definitely booked my seat and listened to the exact conversation with the lads around me. I was like, this feels like one continuous season from when Benitez was here.
And then without being like, and again, I'm not putting the blame on anyone, but like at 2 o'clock when the team news come out, that immediately kills any kind of optimism.
What I would say is a couple of new signings will.
Oh no, I'm just talking
like
about
when we play Wolves. I'm going big here. When we play Wolves, and we've got, and I've put this back on because we had attackers and scorers when we had these. When we play Wolves, we'll have a new centre forward playing. I imagine we'll have a new winger. Or possibly, and Dom will be there. The atmosphere will be totally different because people will be up for it. I think Saturday. But what about you? I was like, was I excited? I wasn't excited, but I was thinking, like, come on, first day, got a great chance to beat these. You know, let's get off to a good start. Got in the car, started driving. Zach read the team out, and was like, here we go.
To be honest,
again.
I wasn't excited for the game. I'm not excited for the season. To me, it's a filler. It's another filler. I've said this a million times. Going to Goodison Park doesn't excite me anymore. It doesn't excite me. It just doesn't get anything.
Yeah, but hang on, let me just stop you, right? Is it because there's nothing in our team that gets you going, or is it? Is it because the new stadium?
There's nothing about going a game anymore that really excites me because the football club have just killed all my optimism in this club.
So how does it get back then for you?
No, well it gets back, but the point being is, to me it's not dead. It's just a holding pattern, and that's what the seasons are like. They just feel like they're a holding pattern. I said this when Benitez came in. They said, then they brought him in because the next 3 years are going to be a holding pattern. You know, you're circling the airport waiting to land. It's basically, and that's the most boring bit, isn't it? Because you know you're there. You know you're right there. It's underneath you, and you just want to get out the plane at that point. The journey's over, but we've got to just get through this. And it's not exciting. It's pretty boring. We know we're going to finish in the bottom half. We know we're not going to win anything. And that's not just us, by the way. That's football. That's the way football. I mean, the Chelsea stuff, it's just nonsense. 9-year contracts
with an option for
because they're not in UEFA competition, so they don't have to abide by 5-year deals. It's nonsense.
How can you give a 9-year contract
with an option?
With an option for another?
I'm not being funny. By the time half of those contracts run out, the bleeding Terminators will be in charge.
Yeah.
You know, Skynet will be here. So you've got that on top of it. And it's just a case of, as I said, it's just about being the way it is. And I like, you know, not... Goodison is what it is, but it's just, you walk in and you don't go, oh, it's great to be back. You feel like you've just been there. So to me...
Well, that's because we had last week.
No, exactly, I know, but it's like, there's no difference to it at all. So to me, it's about just getting, and like you were saying before, about just getting in the new stadium. I think a lot of people feel like me. They just don't care to admit it because there's the whole, oh, you can't criticise Goodison Park, or you can't say you're bored of going to match. I think there's quite a lot of people like me who just can't wait to get to the new stadium.
Well, it's the
carrot, isn't it?
The new job syndrome.
Yeah, it is.
It's
exactly.
the thing when
right.
You know, if you've ever got
you clock off.
a new job and you can't start for a few weeks, you have that all of a sudden the job you're doing is just a bit like, I want to be in my next one to start. I'll be honest, it's not quite that for me. Mine is more literally related to the team and our attacking players. If we've got good attacking players in the team, I'm excited to go and watch Everton.
That's what I'm saying.
Saying it with Zach on Saturday, it was like, oh, well, talking to Andy, my mate, and they were at Ed, and I was like, you know what? I can take Everton losing games of footy the way it is, and I can take the fact that we might not win stuff, because it's, unless there's a massive change, it's not going to happen. But for him, I want to be able to go to match with him and just see us play attacking footy and score goals, so that we've got games where we really enjoy it. And like, you get that team and you go, well, he doesn't score. Like for me, we were at the Sporting game last week and he had a front three that had Dominic, which was fine, and he had Iwobi left and Garner right, and we had nothing in the final third. Iwobi put a few crosses in and that was chances created. Great. Garner done nothing, and therefore I didn't have a clue why he was there again at the weekend, and he done exactly the same for me. Nothing. Played like a right back, which is fine, but when you're at home against a team who are there to be carved open, and you're playing a midfielder who thinks he's a right back, you're wasting an attacker. So you sit down and you go, so for me, if Everton if they got like a non-soul, they got whoever, and they get Harrison in and they get a centre foot, then all of a sudden I'll be enthused, because I think, well, you know what, we can score goals. I want to enjoy it. The ground is great, don't get me wrong, it's great, and it'll be, but I do have the pull of my seat. I love my seat, and I know that I probably won't have the same, but for me it's more just the fact of like, I just want to see us playing attacking footy. That's what I want. It's the whole package, isn't it? Of course, you want to be excited. You want to be, but you want to be excited about your football club. You want to be excited about your team. You want to be excited about going the game, and that's the point. Are we not at a thing here now, though? Right, where all of these things could change. Like, there could be an announcement from. There could be an announcement for MSP or whatever, right? And I know John's in the room, and I'm aware he'll be shaking his head, going, "Why do you think it'll get better with MSP?" Well, the people in charge now, I don't think it can get any worse, right? Right? No, just hear me out. No, it's one step. Steps, right? So that might improve because we got fresh ideas. That, I mean, I've said it before. I'd have John there, even as a consultant, to have some ideas, because I don't think the football club has enough ideas. But that, and then we could get, we'll get players back, which is good, which picks me up again, and then we'll get a striker in the wing, and that picks me up, and all of a sudden, and then we've got the stadium. So I think actually we're now moving, like, we've got freshness coming into the door, and we're moving forward. It just, at the moment, it might be that, like, that tattoo that's on your arm. But the point what I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom. What I'm saying is that for Saturday, you had all the elements of it for the first game of the season, when it's supposed to be exciting, when it's supposed to be fresh, when they're supposed to be, just not there. Nothing is done. You know what I mean? Nothing is fat. You've got your centre forward who's not available again. You've got a wide man you brought in who's sitting on the bench. You've got the MSP situation, which isn't sorted, and people want that, whether it makes a difference or not. People just want things sorted, because it's one step at a time, isn't it? It's one step, and you add all that together, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about, like,
I'm just saying what you get some first game of the season where everyone's up for it, and on Saturday it was flat because it just felt like the same old thing.
The first bit was okay, but it went quiet.
Players as well. You want to be excited.
If the Corey scores that, I think it'd have exploded.
And you're absolutely right. By the time the Wolves game comes along, you could have couple of new signings ready to go. You could have Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Danjuma ready to go. You've got after the international window, you've got McNeil and you've got Harrison ready to come in, and they're the things that make you excited to go the match. And that's what I'm saying. It's not, you can't always rely on just going the match and being, I'm made up to be it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't go the match and feel excited. What I'm saying is that it can't always be the things that have got you excited in the past.
No, you change. You're getting older,
of course, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what happens. So Everton, obviously, it's difficult. I understand with the financial situation. You can't get into that situation where we're playing catch up again. Yeah, and that's what we've got to try and get away from.
I think that's trying to, aren't they? But we are. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's just that, I think, because there hasn't been that real influx for us, because it's people will go and the 1878 side, the flags were great and all that, and they were trying to drum it up before the game. It's once the Corey misses that, it went a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just felt a bit like. Feels a bit pre-seasony when we needed it to be electric, and
by the way, like,
and there was moments when it was good. The crowd again, the street.
I do think in terms of your team, I think your team needs like 6 or 7 games now to get like. I'll forgive players having a poor game on the first game of the season. You know, Patterson to me was pretty poor on Saturday, but I'm not sitting here going, well, he's done for the season. No. You look at it and go, you know what? He got done in the first couple of minutes by a very, very intelligent player. He's all over the place in terms of like how many games he's played anyway. He needs to settle down. He needs to get 6 or 7 games under his belt, and he needs to find that consistency.
What I'd say is, though, William, after it, didn't do much.
Well, he didn't. He got injured. He
got a grip to him, didn't he?
He got injured after that. He was limping. That's why he went off at half time. He would have gone off earlier, but you could see he was limping quite early. But that rattled him, and he never got back into the game, and he was probably very then worried about the confidence thing of like, you know, I need to make sure I put me foot, do everything properly. And it was so I forgive people for having bad games on the first game, because last week's pre-season, this week's the real thing. Yeah. So it does take a few weeks to get into it. I will forgive players for that, but no, it's just, I say, get some players in and don't waste opportunities. Saturday was a real opportunity against the team. That's the point.
I wish we'd have played Man City.
That's what I'm saying. Like Burnley and Forest have had games where they've played to the top 2, and it's like they're the games you won. And we lost to Chelsea last year, and the feeling wasn't so bad because you thought they were going to be challenging. In the end, they ended up mid-table as well, but. It's just disappointing to lose to someone that is around you, isn't it? It's just.
And they will be around us this season.
They weren't great. They weren't great at all.
They'll struggle. I think they'll struggle unless they make 4 or 5 new signings, because they were all over the place. Charlie Barnes, Toffee Chaz, has got a trial for Salford City later. He's absolutely bricking it. Stay calm, mate. No, good luck. Good luck. You've got ability, haven't you? Otherwise, you wouldn't be going on trial there. So. Stay nice and calm and go and do. Remember all the things, what you're doing, which has got you a trial. So just go there and do that. Stay nice and calm. Go. Good luck. Smash it. Get all your Fulham frustration out.
Don't go hyper hard. Don't usual. You're like sugar in the first 5 minutes. Keep it calm. You know, like if you're running a marathon, you don't sprint the first 10 minutes, do you? Keep it calm and you grow as the game grows.
And if you make a mistake, doesn't matter. Carry on, because everyone makes mistakes in football. Everybody, no one's perfect. So get your first touch right. Yeah. Pick your head up. Ask for the ball all the time. Demand the ball all the time, so that whoever's assessing your scouts or whoever.
What if he's a goalie?
Coaching, is he a goalie?
No, I'm saying, what if he is a goalie?
Get your first touch right, shout, ask for the ball all the time.
Don't demand the ball.
No, do we? Look at Raya. We love passing it back to Pickford from the halfway line, so demand it. No, get your touch, your first touch important, get that right, and then pick your head up. You make a mistake, put it to the back of your mind, carry on, work hard. and enjoy it. Enjoy it, the biggest thing, isn't it? Enjoy the ball. Good luck, though, mate. Good luck. Fred Poole says, I like Harrison, but couldn't we find a healthy winger? Well, they look at that. They'd identified Jack Harrison, I imagine, at the back end of the season, especially when Leeds went down and have gone, we won him, and Everton have stuck the course all through the summer, and I know there was Villa interest and all of that. And let's have it right. Whenever Villa interest was there, and however it went down, if he was leaning towards Villa, well then, if you're a footballer, you'd look and go, well, I'm going, Everton have had back-to-back relegation battles. Villa are in Europe, and I've got Unai Emery. That's the more attractive. And I imagine Villa were offering more money as well. Well, they will do with their wage bill. That's the more attractive deal, isn't it? But Everton have got him, so, you know, if he's a player you identify and you think he can really help us, and he's injured for 3 weeks, well, he's still there for the rest of the season, and you've identified him. So I wouldn't, you know, I get what you're saying, but to me, that's sticking a plan.
Could have waited till deadline day and signed them, or not signed them, and he'd be fit for the next game.
But he could have go somewhere else.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you do, don't you? Dan B says, afternoon, gents. Hopefully get a striker in by the weekend. Any news on Beto or Kitty K? And Nonso? Well, Nonso, Everton, it's a slow burner, is what I've been told with Nonso. It's going to be a bit of a war of attrition with them, of just continuing to go back, asking for. He refused to play again at the weekend, didn't he?
Got beat 1-0, didn't
he got beat at Birmingham. If I'm Leeds, and I imagine I'm saying this from a massively biased perspective, but if I'm Leeds, I just want them out the club.
Don't you think what they've done by putting the statements out is done that classic old thing of they've turned the fans against them, so that when they do sell him, the club get no grief for it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they can go, he's refused to, we don't want to sell him. We've made our standpoint clear. The lad doesn't want to play, he's refused to play back-to-back games. He wants out, he's talking, you know, and everything else. And I imagine if Nonso desperately wants the Everton move, and apparently he does and has wanted it all summer, despite some 2-bit websites trying to say that he didn't. I imagine that he will continue to push it, and if for him, what you'd probably do is refuse to play in the next one as well, and that might be the tipping point then for the football club and the fans to go, right, get rid of him. It's like a bit like with Anthony Gordon, isn't it? Is that like we didn't really want him. Everton didn't want to sell him, did they? Clearly, and because they could have done in the summer, and we could have got Ollie Watkins and others who had the opportunity to get. But at some stage, he refused to turn up for training, didn't he? And it was like, he's got to go now. I think you have to make that call. I think with Damari Gray, Everton have quite clearly made it. Sean Dyche was asked, is he fit at the weekend? No, he's not fit.
Yeah.
Played
in them twice.
Played in the Gold Cup like weeks ago and has come back. So I imagine for Leeds it'd be better. Again, I'm aware of any Leeds fans are watching. You're gonna go, well, of course you're saying that. You want them to go to your club. But I just think for any player that's refusing to play and all that, the best thing you can do is get them out the door.
I must admit though,
I don't like it.
I'll
be honest.
Fan of that.
I don't like it.
Fan of that.
No, I think what you should do is get your head down and play for the people who pay you. Really, I don't think you should be spitting your dummy.
No,
so to
absolutely.
speak. Yeah, you want to move. Let the football club know. Go and tell them every single day if you want. But do your job as well. Turn up, train. Don't let your teammates down. Go and work hard for the football club. You can still go in after every game and go, and I still want to move. I'm being professional, and I'm going to work hard when you pick me, but I want out. There's nothing wrong with that, keeping that conversation going, but you shouldn't be letting the fans down who support you, and the Leeds fans have backed them and all that. I'm not a great lover of it. I'm really not. And I think once it's gone like that, a football club should just get you out the door. Because I think the manager, for Daniel Farke, he's just gone in there. They drew it home with Cardiff for last second equaliser. They've gone and got beaten the next game. It hasn't started well. You've got a player. You've got a player who is... are you ready to stop me here?
No, I just sent something to John.
Okay, you've got a player who seemingly just wants out the door. I'd get rid if I was Leeds. Because I'd want Everton to. I'd want Everton to. If this was whoever, Dominic Calvert-Lewin or something, and it was... I'd want him out the door.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? As I said, I'm not a particular fan of players going on strike, even if they want to play for your club. It sets a bad precedent of...
Because at some stage, I just think he'll do it to Everton.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not great, is it? Gary Ward says, I'm sorry, that's from before. Ross says, all right, lads, if we get a decent striker in, then I think we'll have had a good transfer window. Felt so deflated going the game after reading that team sheet. Could feel it in the crowd. Mopa. Listen, I'm not going to bag Neil Mopai out. He's just not what Everton need. I thought his movement was very good on Saturday.
His movement's really good.
His touch was a lot better and brighter on Saturday. But you can't miss three great opportunities, and he did. I think, like I say, I imagine he'll go somewhere else and probably score and be all right.
What you can tell is there's a player in there, but it's just not a Premier League level player. It's somewhere that...
He looks more like a split striker.
It's somewhere where the game is a little bit slower because he just needs that half a second more. You know, that's all it is, really. Just that little bit of extra composure to you know, he got himself in those good positions, and he has lots of times, but he just can't. He can't do the business. So, and I thought he was better with like dealing with the long balls as well. I thought he was moving himself into space and moving the centre back to like pull himself so we could get like. He just can't finish.
Sad. Adam says social media's been the best and worst thing to happen to the transfer window. It's great getting your hopes up, seeing your club linked with new players and being able to follow every step of the transfer, but too many journos are now trying to get one up on each other, trying to control a narrative and contradicting themselves from one post to another. I've learned to take more or less everything I read now as rumours, unless Alan Myers tweets, as he's the only one with actual contracts.
Ornstein as well is pretty
David
good.
Ornstein's good. Listen, it is what it is. And the problem with transfers is things move that fast. And if you build your whole thing, and Fab Romano's found this, if you build your whole persona on getting everything right, sooner or later it catches up with you.
Also, it's people copying each other's own work as well.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. So it is a difficult. You're better off waiting until someone says it's done and there's the whatever, really, to keep yourself sane. I mean, people like it. And don't forget, the biggest things is people let the stuff out so early now. Do you know what I mean? There's a responsibility to keep stuff quiet. People have a responsibility, and whether that's people at football clubs, and if it is, and if it's shown, and it mustn't be difficult to find out if people at clubs are leaking stuff, and if they are, then they need to be dealt with. Because no one should be leaking anything until it's the ink's bloody drying on something, really. And you see that at every football club, not just Everton. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. People or agents. If agents are leaking it, the football club should be pulling them up, going, "What are you doing?" Yeah. But I know why they're doing it, because they're trying to drag others in as well, of course. So it is very difficult to control that, and therefore, probably the safest way for your mental health is to not believe anything until the ink's drying on a contract and then go, right, fair enough. Mike says, how many left wingers do we want, collecting them like number 10s in 2017? He said, but no, seriously, he's a good signing to the squad. We just need to start in centre back and centre forward, and we could all relax a bit. He'll be good, Harrison, I think. Paul Catzel said, I thought we played well on Saturday up to the final third. We need to improve big time in the attacking front. The addition of Dan Juma went up to speed. Dom, if not injured, Chimiti, Harrison and McNeil should all improve us. We still desperately need more goal threat and creativity.
Oh, he was onside.
What?
Dan Juma was onside.
The one when he put it wide? I was just fuming that he missed.
That was awful. He didn't. He just balled. That's a hit. His legs just went. His legs went. You just watch it again.
He's going to be sound now.
His legs went, but he was onside.
Was he? Yeah. It was a bit further down from me, so I just... Yeah. I didn't even celebrate Keane's goal because I thought he'd look for a way to disallow it.
Do you know what thing you said this morning?
Gallagher.
On the ref watch, said he was offside. He said Michael Keane was offside.
That fella's the biggest... Honestly, why Sky even give him a bit of oxygen is unbelievable. He was one of the worst refs ever ref the game. Why are you listening to him? Anyway, let's give a shout out to Kai and Joshua, Paul's nephews. It's right, boys. Pip says Logan. Everton Viking says, thought James Garner was really poor. Didn't offer any cover to Patterson at all. Didn't offer anything going forward. Yeah, I really like Garner, but I thought he was he was poor on Saturday, for me. Jake says, all right, who's the next one? Centre forward for me. Nonso will go to the wire. Yeah, I imagine Nonso will be late. But depend, like Ped said, at some stage, though, he's got to start going to work, hasn't he? He's getting paid, isn't he? It's not good. It isn't good. It's not good. Everton Viking says, Harrison is uninspiring, but a good signing. Solid player. I think he'll add something when fit. I still think we should be signing Nonso. Well, they are. They're trying desperately to get Nonso, aren't they? Terry Max says, afternoon, gents, with McNeil, Harrison and Danjuma with Nonso to follow. Do you think the club... Who do you think the club may... Oh, sorry. Do you think the club may sell Iwobi before the deadline? West Ham will lose Paqueta. Palace will lose Elise. Iwobi's got less than a year left. They may come with us. They might come with an offer. I don't know. I mean, I think for him, he's just seeing how it goes, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
He's in no rush, is he? He's in probably a great position, really, because someone will give him a big signing on fee, won't he? So, people saying, Bazzy, you're happy with the signing? Yeah, you know what? I am happy with it, because I do think he will. I do think he'll help us. I really do. He's not. Is he like the best winger Everton probably could have got? No, probably not. But he's a player that works hard, that does have a goal threat in him. He can run up, up and down each wing, and I think he's a lad you can go. You know what he'll do? He'll do 7 out of 10 most weeks for us. Or
again, it's what you're looking for, isn't it? It's what you can get. We've got a winger at the moment who we're about to get rid of, who doesn't do what the manager wants him to do. Now, he's got a lot of the stuff that he's got a lot of the attributes which people would say we are looking for. Got a little bit of pace, got a trick, scored a few goals.
Yeah.
And yet the manager wants him out the door.
Yeah.
And every manager he's worked under has wanted him out the door. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
This lad's got a track record with no one wants him after 2 years. So
there must be, yeah,
very strange.
Yeah, it is a little bit mad, isn't it? Yeah, Ellis Sims, a few people. He's not started great, has he? But he'll be all right for Coventry. He'll get a goal, and we'll go from there. Baz, how did you know we get Harrison all along?
Tea leaves.
I can't think of me sources, mate. I don't give me sources out. That ended years ago, me telling people who's coming in, who isn't. I'm not interested. All I want is us to get a striker. Someone said Onana out, McTominay in. Man United looking at Onana, apparently. Would you be surprised if Onana went this window?
Yeah, massively surprised.
Would you? Is that because he just hasn't done anything for us?
Done anything for us.
Yeah. If I was Everton, though, we'd get, given how everybody else is going for mad fees, I'd be saying 75 million, mate. He's 21, he's 6'5".
He just needs to get on the ball more.
Yeah. He put a great ball through for Mopai for that sitter. It was a great ball.
He just needs to get on the ball.
And
that's all it is.
And the other one,
touches compared to like a kind of game, but like half again.
Yeah.
You've got to get on the ball more and control the game a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's got, like I said, I think he's got a lot of ability on Arna, and he's got the potential. That was why I was disappointed with him on Saturday. He should have just grabbed that game and gone, this is me. I'm up against no one.
It's not like he had a bad game.
No.
The
second half, I didn't hardly see him. That was what was mad. It's like, go and demand the ball, mate, because you're good at switching the play. And but listen, he's not the only one that didn't do that, is he? Yeah, he says, Baz, you say get a striker in before Villa, but Dykes won't even have him in the squad. Yeah, you know what? He'd probably have to
be fit.
He'd probably have to be fit, yeah. Yeah, well, Cal says, mad how Mitrovic got subbed and then come back on. They had the lad, didn't he, with the scoreboard up? Hello?
He had a little bit of a hop on him. I think it was right in front of us. He stood on his toe. It was like he couldn't wait to get off, but then he come back in and set the
goal up. Chaz says, luckily, Pet, I'm a right wing back.
There you go.
Get up and down, get them balls into the corridor of uncertainty, Chaz. Done right across.
Easy position to play in the pitch. That.
Just got to be fit.
You just got to run up and down.
Yeah.
You just look busy. You can cheat that role.
I don't think he wants to cheat. He wants to do well.
Saying, on the eye, you can just cheat it.
So he won't. Will he pass the eye test? That's the biggest thing.
That's what you got to do, isn't it?
That is the big thing. Right, we're going over to more than a game. Stay where you're at. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We're going. If you stay where you are.
Going to Ibiza.
2 o'clock, the transfer show on More Than a Game. We'll be covering everything else, and obviously if anything breaks for Everton, then we'll tell you there as well. But you don't have to go anywhere. Just stay where you are. Get yourself a drink, and we'll be there. You'll be redirected to the other one. So thank you very much. Take it easy, and subscribe if you haven't.
See you in a bit.
Bye.